Hello everyone! Welcome to a new chess video, or maybe I should say an awesome chess video, because today I'm bringing you one of your favorite types of videos. I'm going to show you how to beat your opponents in chess very quickly. And I'm not going to show you tricks that don't work or anything like that, quite the opposite. I've picked the most successful traps in the world, the ones that more than 2 million people have fallen for, and I'm going to teach them to you. Why? Because it's been proven with more than 2 million people that these traps work. For example, in this first trap I'm going to show you with the black pieces, you're going to win in just 3 moves. You're going to be amazed. Or 4 moves, because after that, everything just falls into place. You just have to memorize the first 4 moves, and you'll see that you'll win a lot of games quickly. It happens in the double king's pawn opening. When they play knight to f3, look, it's the most natural thing in the world. They attack your pawn and you defend with your knight, and then they play bishop to c4. Well, on the next move, you're already going to pull off the trap. Today, I have to be honest with you, dear followers, I really didn't feel like recording the video. It's a rainy day. Not every day do I feel like recording a video, but I can approach the day in 2 different ways, right? I can stay lying on the couch, not wanting to do anything, or I can get up and record the video anyway for my followers, who especially deserve it. And here we are, right? This is just a thought. Forgive me for the reflection, okay? It's something you can take home with you and apply to your own daily life, too. On those days when you don't feel like going to the gym or doing anything, just get up, okay? You have the choice in your own hands to make the day much better than you expect. And right now, I'm really happy I made this decision. So if you're watching this video, please give me a big like because I deserve it, okay? I put in the work for all of you. Sorry for this little speech. Now let's get to the trick. Check this out. This move here looks like a really bad one. Why? Because we're giving away this pawn right here. Take a look at this, okay? We give up this pawn here and it looks like everything's a mess. They're attacking this spot with 2 pieces. We're down a super important pawn. This knight is left really awkward in the center of the board, undefended. It seems like everything's lost. However, if they take this pawn here for free, they've already lost the game. Just like you heard, the correct move here is to bring the queen over to make this attack here and this attack here. The white pieces will say, well, I really don't care. You haven't stopped me from doing anything. I can keep winning the game. Defended by the bishop, I'm attacking your rook, and I'm also attacking your queen. And this is where we first play queen takes pawn, a brutal move, double exclamation mark. We attack the rook. First, they can't take here, because we would capture with check. And it wouldn't just be check, it would actually end up being checkmate, right? So they can't capture this rook here. Instead, what they have to do is defend this only rook first, come here. And now, simply, all we have to do is play queen takes pawn, check. They have to block. If they block with the queen, thank you, because they're just giving it to us. And if they block with the bishop, notice that the king is trapped by its own pieces. We're going to deliver this beautiful checkmate with the knight. This bishop can't capture it because it's pinned by the queen. So when you play e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, and bishop to c4, remember that the trap is knight to d4. Very important, they only fall for the trap if they take the pawn for free, okay? If they take the pawn for free, then they've fallen into the trap. We bring the queen right to g5 to attack the knight and target this square. So yes, they've fallen into the trap. But there is a way to escape this trap. Obviously, if there weren't, everyone would lose every game in the world. It only works when they take the pawn for free. Oh, do you know how I learned about this trap? It was amazing. My chess teacher used it on me when I was playing in my country's championship. Okay? I was 8 years old. I thought I was king of the world because I was beating all the other kids, you know? And then my teacher comes along and bam! And I said, I can't believe it. I'm going to beat my teacher. He just gave away a pawn. My teacher goes wham, told me not everything that glitters is gold. And from that moment on, I started to focus a bit more, and he taught me that the right move was knight takes knight, okay? If we play knight takes knight, it's true that we can play it without any problem with the black pieces. We just recapture here. However, the trap hasn't worked. We no longer have that advantage. So if someone tries this trap on you, important, if someone tries this trap on you, don't take this pawn, take this knight. Or if you want, you can also play c3, which is a super useful move. But above all, remember that you can't take this pawn. And if they take this pawn from you, you come here, and simply when they capture with the knight, we come here. But what happens if they capture with the bishop? CHESSTEACHER. Ah, here, they're giving me a check to the king. I only have two moves available, either move it here or move it here, because this bishop can't be captured in any way. Well, it's very simple. If they capture with the bishop, you're still winning. So don't worry, I'll show you right now how to win if they capture with the bishop. Conclusion, if they capture this pawn with the knight, which looks free, they're already lost. They're already lost, okay? You've already seen it with the knight. With the bishop, we move the king here. Very simple. Notice that, yes, we've lost castling, yes, we've moved the king, and yes, we're down 2 pawns. But don't worry, because now it's white's move, and we have several threats. Threats, this pawn here can't be defended because they lose the knight, so they also have to defend the knight. How can they defend the knight? Well, honestly, there aren't many ways. Imagine they move the knight here. It seems like a normal move, right? Then we'd come in here and not only attack the rook, but when it moves, we'd capture the knight, since there are 2 pieces attacking it. So, in conclusion, they can't move the knight back. They can't move the knight back. If the knight comes from the other side, it's basically the same thing. Worse yet, we'd almost be giving checkmate. We capture here, they move the rook, then we give this check, and the same result follows. It's checkmate shortly. So we come to the conclusion that after moving the king away, there's no move that can save him. It seems like the only move that might save him is to castle, right? You should know this in case your opponent castles. Gaswin. So then, what should we do? Capture this knight, right? We'd be ahead by a knight, and at this point in time, we should just continue playing through the rest of the game. Most likely, they'd chase our knight away, and we'd have to retreat it. I recommend that you move it right here to see if they trade this bishop, and you should play out the game from there. It would be a more balanced game because your king is a bit exposed, that's true. And you're also down 2 pawns, but you have an extra knight. So that's enough material to win the game. And that would be the worst case scenario for you. If they come with the bishop and then castle, that would be the worst case scenario for you. However, you would still have an extra knight. There's also a trap that millions of people fall into. Millions with the queen's pawn. So what do you think? Look, I've explained the trap with the king's pawn to you. If they play king's pawn against you, boom, you hit them with the most successful trap of all. If they play queen's pawn against you, well, you can play this one here. A very interesting trap. We play double king's pawn, all right? They play the queen's gambit against you. This trap's maybe just a bit more advanced. Why? Simply because the queen's gambit, well, people who are around 500 ELO don't usually play it. It's played by people at a more advanced level. However, the success rate is exactly the same. If they play the queen's gambit against you, don't worry. We play e6. Look, the orthodox defense, right? We play e6 and defend this pawn. So if they exchange it, we simply capture here. If they don't capture this pawn and don't make this exchange, don't worry, the trap still works, okay? Imagine, for example, that they bring the knight here and develop. That's a typical development in the queen's gambit, right? If they've exchanged, we would simply be like this. You see? It's exactly the same. All right, we defend here and develop with knight to f6, and now they pin this knight here. A very familiar situation. Remember, it always doesn't matter if they exchange the pawn, because if not, we have these two, but it's the same, okay? And now, let's think about something. How many pieces are defending this pawn? By 2, by the knight, and by the queen. However, I would tell you that not really by the knight, since this knight can't move because we would lose the queen. So this pawn is only defended by the queen and is only attacked by the knight. So for now, nothing happens. But I suggest a really good move that sets the trap here, which is knight to d7. Look, knight from b to d7. What do we do with this? Technically, this pawn is attacked by one knight and defended by another. However, we said that this knight doesn't count because it's pinned. So notice that after the knight, after the move knight to d7, we're giving away the pawn completely for free. And not only that, it seems like we're under a lot of pressure. Well, this is exactly the trap. So let's think about what we're going to do here. We're going to go ahead and take this knight with our knight. We don't really care if they take our queen. We have an extra piece. Yeah, chess teacher, but now you have an extra piece, but it doesn't matter because they took your queen. Yeah, but after this wonderful move here, check, notice that the king can't go anywhere. Not here either. The only piece that can get between the king and the bishop is the queen. And now, look, you've also won the queen. And what we're going to do is the following. Instead of capturing directly, which would be a good move, an even better one is to capture the bishop with the king. Notice that we've captured two pieces, right? And I got the queen. It's important to keep track, okay? Because if you don't spot tricks where you win the queen, you might end up losing, right? We're up by two pieces. Now, whether they capture the bishop or let it be captured, it's the same, because they've taken a piece and we recapture the queen. In conclusion, we've captured two pieces, the knight and the bishop, and they've only taken one, the bishop. We end up with an extra piece, and on top of that, we're attacking this fork on the king and rook, so if they try to defend, we could even keep capturing here. In other words, this trap is fantastic. And watch out, these two traps are absolutely spectacular, and a lot of people fall for them. But there's still even more spectacular traps, like the one I'm about to show you right now. It's gonna give you goosebumps. No. Seriously though, if you like chess, this trap is gonna blow your mind, because I'm sure you haven't seen it before. It wins in just a few moves. You'll be amazed against the dreaded London system. If you're asking, chess teacher, what do I do against the London? Don't worry, check out this trap, because it's fascinating. We play d4, d5, easy, and they play the London system against us. And pay attention to this move, because it's spectacular. When they play bishop to f4 against us, we already know what they're trying to do, right? The London system, e3, knight to f3, and all the usual London stuff. So when they play bishop to f4, we already know what they're aiming for. And that's when we launch this killer move that's going to give you goosebumps. h5. 5. If they stick to their London system plan with e3, they've lost the bishop. How about that? They've lost the bishop. Yes, sir. Absolutely impressive. With which move did they lose the bishop? Well, with the move e5. It's a truly spectacular move, and I'm going to explain how to capture that bishop no matter what they do. First of all, if they retreat the bishop, it's simple, right? We come here and we've already captured the bishop. Well, they could capture here, but first we chase it away with f6. They only have the square, and now that's it. They don't have any left, right? More options. If after playing e5 they capture here, it's very simple. Same thing. f6 and now here and now here. Notice that there's no way to save this bishop. I'll tell you even more. What happens if they capture with the pawn? Well, it's exactly the same. Thanks to the queen aiming here, we trap this bishop that can't get out, and it has to go back, and we just advance with the pawn chain. I'm sure you're amazed by this London system trap that even I didn't know about. You know what? Let's wrap up the video with the absolutely most incredible and stunningly beautiful trap I've ever shown you on this channel, in my honest opinion, and I'm not joking, and it happens in the Budapest gambit. Careful, this is the last trap, and a ton of people fall for it. You know who I saw pull off this trap? Well, I saw it done by, I'm sure you all know Anna Kramling. Her father pulled it off on her. Her father, who was a grandmaster, a really great grandmaster, Juan Balan, did it to Anna Kramling, and she was blown away. You know, Anna Kramling has over 2,000 ELO points, so if she can fall for it, anyone can. In the Budapest gambit. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. In the Budapest gambit, you know, we give up this pawn in the queen's gambit, and when they take it, we put this knight here, okay? For example, there are a lot of ways to continue here, but pay attention to the idea we have in mind. We want to set up the attack for them. I don't know how to say it without sounding a bit crude, but we want to make the attack a no-brainer for them, right? We want to set up the attack so they can execute it perfectly. For example, after any move, we're going to play b6. You'll understand everything in just a moment. Notice that we have this undefended knight and this undefended rook, both lined up on the same diagonal. Notice that all of you, if I ask which move you can use to attack both at the same time, you'll tell me this one right here. And that's correct. With this move, you're attacking both at once, and there's no possible way to defend them. If I try to defend the rook, you take the knight. If I try to defend the knight in any way, for example like this, you take the rook. And that's exactly what we want. We want them to think they've won the game. But actually, we have a spectacular move. You take both pieces? Well, on top of that, I'll give you another one. I'll give you the bishop too. And here's the thing, you take the bishop, and not only that, but when you take the bishop, you're still attacking both pieces. It might look like I'm going completely crazy here, but as I always tell you, this works. Now, what do we need to do? Well, we just need to develop our knight. This queen is getting trapped. She can only move here. You see it, right? So first, this is important. We give a check so they have to block. For example, with the bishop, it doesn't matter to us. The idea was to bring out this bishop. And now, what do we want to do? It's really easy. We just want to trap the queen. This knight jumps back. Look at that, okay? We attack the queen. Where can this queen go? She only has one square, this one here. And notice that things are looking really bad for the white pieces now. We push this pawn forward, and the queen is completely trapped because she can't capture anything. This bishop is defended by the knight. It was really important to give this check first to properly trap the queen so she can't escape. Check out these spectacular traps based on statistics. A lot of people fall for these traps. This one's spectacular, and the one fewest people fall for, but all of them are incredible. Give me a like, please, because I wasn't in the mood at all, but I put in the effort so you'd have a beautiful video today on the channel. So you are the best community in the world, I have to say it, but you already know that. Give me a big like, leave me a great comment, and I'll see you in the next video, friends. Goodbye.